Hello everybody, they call me Muse and I welcome you back to Baldur's Gate 3 and the adventures of Gale and the God Botherers.
The path less travelled.
I mean, it's not the path less travelled, Gale, really, is it? We've been this way a number of times. We've cleared out a lot of the place, to be honest. We're running out of quests. Which means we might have to venture further north and see what's what. But I think we also missed a waypoint over here, which may have been useful at some point. Maybe now it's no longer useful. There we go, it is grabbed. So we did have some more crashes at the end of last session, but I think I got everything back up to where it was. We actually crashed after we'd beaten Geringoth, but before we'd saved, which is unfortunate, so I had to beat her again. I did it through conversation this time, but the main thing is she was bested once more. It's time to press on. So north past the House of Healing, that should take us to new places. Yeah, that looks new. Is there a waypoint here?
Our hero thought but of treasure ahead, did not consider the peace of the dead. Through the dark he went creeping, and awoke what was sleeping. A new grave they dug, which he himself fed.
Ooh, spooky.
Saved me saying it. How long have you been standing around practicing that little recital?
Until it was perfect. I've grown quite fond of you, you know, in my way. I thought it only fair to warn you about the dangers ahead.
And what dangers are those?
Oh, we both know they are soon to be revealed. It would be pointless of me to try to bar you from entering. But I can set the scene, as it were. Prepare you for your role.
Go on then, paint me a picture.
There is a stage down in the dark upon which a great drama has suspended itself in time. Its actors dwell there still, mired in the languor of their long-tired scenes. If you, however, through the dark, go creeping and awake what is sleeping, chances are many more graves than yours alone will soon be fed.
I should have asked him to cut to the chase. Spell it out.
Very well. There is a creature that lurks in silence and shadow. A creature who, like me, is very much of the infernal persuasion. Should it make its way out through the very doors you are about to brazenly swing open, you'll have unleashed a pestilence upon this realm. In truth, it is carnage incarnate. So if you meet the devil of which I speak, kill it. Consider no other course of action.
I'm immediately going to consider every other course of action possible. And you are only telling me half of what you really know. This is clear and obvious.
This creature and I go back a long way. I admit it would be in my best interest as well should it remain trapped in the dark. Or misplace its head, perhaps?
What are we talking here? Lemur? Pit fiend? Orthon?
Getting warmer. Warmer. Hot.
Are you afraid of this creature, Raphael?
Listen here, Pipsqueak. Do not underestimate this opponent. At best, you will have the blink of an eye to strike. Strike first, strike true, defy the odds, for they are distinctly in its favor. That much I owe the bastard to concede. After all, if there is one rule I hold dear, it's that one must always give the devil his due.
What a tedious creature. There is a waypoint. Well, we'll take that. I guess we could have snuck across here as well from the roof of the House of Healing. Dirt mound. What treasures do you have? Scroll of magic weapon. Okay. There is also a little scrap around here, isn't there, that doesn't really pertain to much of anything. So let's start with that before we enter that tomb. Gale's all out of spell slots, but I think he'll be fine. No, everyone's now going to try and climb down, aren't they? And back up again. That was foolish of me to try and look at people's spell slots.
Spot for an ambush.
Yes, it is a prime spot for an ambush. There's the ambush now. Cursed Kuatoas. Possibly guarding the way to that cave. Possibly guarding that hut. Now, if we sneak, they do spot us. Okay. I was wondering if a sneak attack with a spell counts as a surprise attack to launch combat in our favour.
The coward's route.
But yeah, it doesn't look as though there's any sneaking happening today. There could be some shovel there. And shovel could go invisible. And then stroll down. And if shovel was to attack one of these, then maybe we'd get a surprise round. Lovely. There appears to be rather more of them than I was anticipating. That makes things less lovely, all told. But it is what it is. We haven't got repulsor by the look of it. Or have we? Maybe we need to go to 4 bars on Gale. We've got force tunnel. Yeah, it looks like we're not able to just get down there this turn, so... let's see. Maybe we should move that off our bar. Can we do that? Let's unlock our bar. And get rid of that. Just in case. And yeah, fine, we'll just hit something. And that's lit a bunch of the buggers up with radiating orbs, so that might help. They're shadow cursed undead, so getting in there and blinding them would probably also be beneficial to our fight. And when is Spirit Guardians ever a bad thing to cast? Lae'zel probably wants to be in there up close and personal. Give it a bit with the old rat bat. And that's another bugger out the way. And then
On my way.
Shads, what are you going to get down to? Guiding bolts are just generally good. Where are the rest of these buggers anyway? Ah, there's a whole group of them over there. So maybe we all want to cluster together, or maybe we want 2 lots of Spirit Guardians on the go. Maybe that's beneficial. But then maybe they're just going to use ranged weapons and knock it off. I don't know. So a bunch more of pops. Shovel can do some fisting. Well done. Gale could potentially hit some more with Sacred Flame. Can he though? Can he reach anyone? They're out of reach. That one isn't though. But it's out of sight. Yeah, so Gale can't really do a whole lot this turn. Karlach can jump down and smash one of these. Potentially shove this one back into the ocean, but alas. Lae'zel could finish it off though. Maybe. Wonderful. And then those 2 can work their way over here, perhaps to this cursed one. The chief. Well, Shadowheart makes her way over here to look at this lot. So what are you doing, Chief? Not much. A net. Surely one of these nets will connect at some point. Or maybe not. They're all just lining up with some spirit guardians. So maybe we just start with that before we do anything else. Fantastic. Eat that, you buggers. Shovel. Are you able to get in there? Maybe, but Karlach definitely is. It's blinded and it's taken a beating. Wonderful. Lae'zel, can you get in there? I've kind of knocked it further away than I should have done, but... Oh, nearly misclicked. But you can also give it a beating. I doubt Shovel can reach. But who am I to doubt Shovel? She's a jam-up guy. Blimey. That did a lot of stuff. We like that. Now, do you want to do anything else, Chads? Maybe just stab one. That guy's blinded, which is just great. We'll give you a shield blow. Yeah, you attack Gale. That's fine. This lot. They're not having a good time with it. So we know what's happening down there. What's happening up here? Do we want to give that one a radiating orb just because we can? This guy can just be bashed about, I think. Down he goes. Yep. And then what are you doing? Shads, are you just sacred flaming that one? Yeah. Wonderful. Quite a straightforward fight this one's been. What are you attacking? Probably doesn't matter. Lae'zel, do you want to... No, you can't. Okay. Gale gets the job done. Bit of electrocution going on down there. Not sure when that occurred, but apparently it did. So chest seems like a good first bet. Starfish, horn shell, gold, thieves' tools. Not a lot. There was a note, wasn't there? Yes.
Gone fishing. Catch you later, Ellis.
Oh, lols. What a funny guy that Ellis is. Now, it looks like most of these buggers don't have a lot of loot on them, but we'll check the chief. We get the lightning jabber. A spear. On a hit, possibly shock your target. When launched at a target, deal an additional 1 to 4 lightning damage. Very well. We'll hang on to it. I don't know if it's really for us clerics, but nonetheless, there's not much going on over here except for this little cave. It's very ominous, but that's never stopped us before. Oh, it's a way into the House of Healing morgue. Very well. I've got vague memories of this morgue being an absolute nightmare to traverse. We're kind of done with the House of Healing, so maybe we'll go back to that tomb that we've just discovered. This place is far more important.
Sigils. Attempts to restrain Lady Shah's power, perhaps. Failed attempts.
Lady Shah is strong in here then. Yeah. Looks like a mausoleum. A pretty fancy one.
Me, Zirel, Minthara, whoever you are, leave. I shall carry out General Thorm's will alone.
Alone.
Not wanted, not needed. Leave.
Very well. So, tombs. All sorts of tombs. Doesn't look as though we can loot them. Something's been going on over here, though.
All these bone arrangements reek of dark magic afoot. Necromancy, I'll wager.
Yes. Definitely doesn't look normal around
The
here.
ancestors of Ketheric Thorm arranged into macabre totems. But why?
Diary, Volume 2. Balthazar is my own source of barest comfort. I thought that perhaps she might be brought back to me. Curious. So Balthazar had some sort of plan. He's probably responsible for all this sculpture and whatnot. Bringing someone back. Looks like there's more of this nonsense over here.
The look of that. Don't know why.
You don't know why you don't like the look of 6 skulls arranged in a circle with a bunch of bones around them. I would say it's fairly obvious, Carlo. In order to find what lies beyond this mausoleum, one must walk in General Thorm's own footsteps, deed by deed, from splendour to tragedy to infamy. The Vivacious Cloak. You gain 8 temporary hit points after casting a spell whilst in melee. Curious, but who's going to use that? Lae'zel gets into melee fairly often. But is she likely to cast a spell once she's in there? She hasn't got Booming Blade, so it would seem unlikely. But the cape might look pretty on her, so maybe we slip it on. Doesn't look that vivacious, to be honest. The map shows the Gauntlets of Shah.
This map shows a Temple of Shah. Seems to highlight some great danger within.
Good thing we brought Shads along, isn't it? Now, we've got marble plates. They probably need disarming. What have we got? Grief, Moonrise Towers, and General. From Splendour to Tragedy to Infamy. Moonrise Tower could be Splendour. Grief could be Tragedy, for sure. Let's separate from the party for a moment so we don't trigger traps.
Nasty surprise. Caution is warranted here.
Shovel, have you just triggered a trap?
Pressure plate mine. Better be careful not to trigger that thing.
There we go. Well, we might have triggered some pressure plates, but we got the thing open. So maybe it doesn't matter? Now, what's this say?
Susun Elg Olov. Here lies Isabel Thorm.
Best avoid that trap, Isabel. The Selûnite cleric from last light.
That's very
Does this mean
interesting.
She's Ketheric Thorm's daughter. But she's alive.
That's all very true, Shads. But we did find a note about bringing her back. So maybe that's what was going on. It all looks very Sharon around here. We're in the Gauntlets of Shar.
This architecture. This can only be the work of Shar worshippers.
Offer your pain to Shah's embrace. Hear the night song.
Interesting. Night song as well. It's all coming together down here.
Shah's warriors must not be caught, must not be tricked. Only loss awaits the unworthy.
No earthly voice. I think the Lady Shar speaks to us.
Must not be caught, must not be tricked. And maybe we're supposed to get to that Umbral Gem. Shads, this seems more like your sort of thing. Looks like the light is changing when we crouch, which is odd. I guess we were spotted.
Oh. Well, that left me winded.
That lever might help. Maybe? Oh wait, there's a pressure plate there. Okay.
Darkness will feed on the weak, taking what they hold dear.
That would explain some of the problem, I think. There's also that vent. Okay, so clearing the vent helped.
Adventure awaits.
Now we can turn off this thing, I guess. Is that going to make the way clear to the gem? Or do we have to do more? Lady Shar is laughing at our attempts to do anything useful in this temple right now. Shadowheart is presumably cringing.
I'd better be careful not to trigger that thing.
Is there another lever in here? Good. So that's this side cleared. Is that good enough? It seems to suggest there's a shield around it and we can get in through the front, but then...
Repulsed again. But that glowing ring I saw may show the way.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but then when I tried to come in from the front before, it wasn't having it, so...
Trap.
So what's the deal here? At this point, I'm beginning to think that Shar's just a bit of a dick, really. Alright, so there's one at the back here as well that I've missed that can be turned off. So let's do that. Oh, these front two can be reached, I suppose. Okay. Look, I'm not trying to go near your gem, I'm trying to go round.
Repulsed again. But that glowing ring I saw may show the way.
There we go. Are we now good? No, apparently we're not. Is it Gale's fault having the lantern out?
Repulsed again.
Aha!
But that glowing ring I saw may show the way.
There are two rings, and when all the lights are out, the path is revealed. Now it becomes clear.
Welcome, child. Follow my voice and prove your worth.
Well, that was embarrassing. So we've kind of got options. I think we probably should camp, though, at this stage. So what's this door doing? Opening. It's pointing a big ominous door if you're just going to open like that. So that's probably the way forward. Do we check these side passages? This one has a sarcophagus. Not much else? It's got mushrooms. going back out of the temple, really. Into what exactly? Vague memories of a rumble around here? Something up here, perhaps? There's certainly a chest. Everyone's failed on their perception checks, so we might be about to get ambushed by something. Shovel? Do you want to scout for us? And there is, in fact, a cloaker. Dark vision. Light sensitivity. Multi-attacks. Okay. Summoned a phantasm. Multiple. That's not ideal. They are ethereal. Incorporeal. Okay. They can still be beaten up though, right? Don't know if it's worth using a guided strike this early in the day. That's frightened a couple of the crew. But that's movement that's stopping us from doing, isn't it? We can probably live with that. Shovel! Would you like to come over and smack one of these things? Not successfully.
Put 'em up.
Now, Karlach. You can do damage to the buggers, that's great. Noxious fumes. Is that them giving off noxious fumes? Oh, that's because we put on the thing, didn't we? Yeah, we put on the noxious fumes gloves. So does that mean we're going to be affected by noxious fumes if we waltz into that spot? Probably. Jesus. That's all the damage. So Lae'zel can't move. We've actually probably just knocked that phantasm out of her range. And she's got disadvantage on ranged attacks. That's awful. So yeah, a whole lot of AoE damage here. Not huge amounts actually connecting, but can we Radiant Orb this guy? Yes. That's useful. Because of its light sensitivity, that might help. I feel like it might be worth a Spirit Guardians at this point as well. If you can believe that. Pop them all with it, because we can. And then Karlach can't do a lot because of her frightened state. Do we need to kill all these, or are they going to die if the big cloaker dies? That's the question. Yeah, Sacred Flame, or at least spells with saving throws rather than attack rolls, are probably more useful while the crew are frightened. Nice. One of them popped. another radiating orb on that bugger, which is very nice. And then Shadowheart can't move at this stage, but she can certainly throw out sacred flames and such. Of course it missed. Lovely. Now what are you going to do? See, now you've got radiating orbs on you. You're generally a bit crap, aren't you? It's just that first hit that got us. Ah, don't break concentration on Spirit Guardians. Wow. This is the one thing we didn't want to happen. Oh, now it's saving against Sacred Flame. That's the other thing that we probably didn't want to happen. So which one's almost dead? There we go. That one's missed again, because... yeah. It's going well, even when it doesn't actively have a radiating orb on it. It seems as though it's still missing at this stage. But if we can pop some more on, that's just great. A bit of reverberation as well, because why not? Yeah, heck with it. I want to finish this fight because these guys are buggers. Lovely. You better drop something impressive. Okay. Now, how many small healing potions have we got left in this mess of an inventory? It looks like the answer's none. We could probably alchemize some though. We can make superior ones as well. Very well. No point using short rest when Gale's the only one who's really taken a beating. But is that all we came over here for, this chest? I suppose there was this door as well. Where do you take us? Back in. Okay. Mushroom soup. Must be a recent meal if it's not gone mouldy. There's a bunch of rats around. Chittering away. Someone's definitely been living around here. And a key. You lot chittering about. An altar to Shar.
A place of offering to the Dark Lady. May she embrace the entire world.
Okay. Perhaps if we leave, and then Shadowheart has a go.
Your prayers fade away. Nothing comes to you in return. No soothing presence, no spiritual embrace. Only darkness and silence. Your efforts must be inadequate. You must do more to please Shar going forward.
I mean, we could swear body and soul to Shar.
The faintest sensation of approval quickens your heart. A hard-won blessing from your mistress.
Hooray! The Night Singer's favourite. Resistant to necrotic damage until our next long rest. That could prove to be important, depending on who we end up meeting in here. Now what's ahead? Some enemies. Some undead enemies, no less. So where have we gone? Exactly. We came in here, we went left. And so we're still exploring all this left-hand side, but that's apparently where Balthazar is as well, nearby. Interesting. Oh, this guy's talking to us.
You prowl my battleground. Why? Are you friend? Foe? Thieving scavenger?
You find yourself in a dead, putrid skull, somehow hosting a tadpole amongst a squirm of maggots. Another presence lurks within, manipulating the corpse like a puppet.
A friend. An uninvited friend. I do not request help.
Well, Z'rell sent me. Looking for Balthazar.
Did she now? Enter. I will see if I have any use for you. Stinking pile of ogre aftermath! The quakes herald the shadows. They found me.
This doesn't sound good. Dark Justiciars. Kinda.
Trespasser. Merkel's fat lapdog.
Alright then. So that door, Balthazar's behind that, I guess. Looks like there's a whole bunch of buggers in this fight. Some on our side, others not. Umbral tremors. Dark invaders use the tremors to travel to the material plane. They're vulnerable to radiant. Well, that's good. We've got some radiant. But I'm curious about opening this door. I've heard that it can be done, and that it might be very silly and fun to do it. So let's knock on it, and now we should be able to open it once we get over there. In the meantime, maybe we should do something about these umbral tremors. Or the Justiciar. No, we're not doing anything about that Justiciar, apparently. Okay. Can Lae'zel get closer to the door? She's getting there. They're all going to shoot that bugger. As for Shads... yeah, we can just stab the tremors. That's good. And here come some more lads on our side. No, those tremors are spawning in more dudes. This is rapidly becoming a rumble of some sort. Lae'zel, please open that door. And there we go. There's Balthazar. And Flesh. And a whole bunch of other people. And they're going to help us in this scrap now. Look at him, what an ugly man. Yeah, we don't like this guy. But now that we've invited him into the fight, that should make things a bit easier. So we'll just bash some things, I think. Which ones are the weakest right now? Blimey, properly exploded that bugger. There we go, we've got one of the umbrals down. Let's see how all this plays out. It's possible that we're going to miss out on some plot because of this. But that's fine. I've got 2 other playthroughs on the go. I'm sure we'll see all of Balthazar's plot at some point. Bunch more lads coming into the scrap. We should probably deal with some of these tremors, if we can.
Let us make short work.
Especially if Balthazar's going to throw around Cloud Kill, without any regard for our crew.
My injuries need tending.
We don't want to get caught in his Cloud Kill. I know that much. There we go. That's a bit better. Because all of his undead just won't mind. There's another dude down there. They really don't like Sacred Flame. So I think we'll just sort of start working our way towards the back of the room. Clear out all these tremors at the back if we can. Hopefully we won't get overwhelmed. Flesh will help. Come on, Flesh. Okay, there are more of these buggers than I'd like at this stage. Oh, it's Karlach. I thought it was Gale. Oh well. Main thing is we're going to pull back a bit.
It will be a kindness to put an end to your follies.
Now, Balthazar is throwing more Cloud Kills around. Not sure how that's going to help. Gale. Let's see. Can't move Gale yet. So it's just Lae'zel. And she kind of can't get anywhere because the other 2 are in the way. There we go. Now, can we ping one of these lads? Good. We will continue to move in this direction. I wonder if there's an upper limit on how many things spawn out of these portals. I honestly don't know. Which means it could be a bit of a bother for us. There goes another one at least. Alright, so it seems like these Justicia can actually be hurt by Cloud Kill, even though they're basically just like animated armor at this point. They can't be blinded, but they can be poisoned. It's all a bit strange. Okay, so this nearby portal has now popped. It's done its duty. And it's gone.
Down the hatch.
Oops. Whoops.
You shall live.
So that means that Lae'zel again is too far away to do a great deal. She did get her temporary hit points from her cloak, so that's fun. Yeah, get stabbed, Balthazar. I know you're technically on our side right now, but still. Oh, I forgot about that guy. Get proned. Yeah, I might be getting good XP from this little scrap. Here come some more buggers. Oh, another one's popped. Excellent. And that's that one popped. So this end of the room, looking kind of clear. Apart from all, you know, the dudes. But we can deal with the dudes. Bit of sacred flame. We'll take them out whenever it connects. I wouldn't mind more of them stabbing at Balthazar. It's not really happening. I guess I shouldn't have fired at that one. Because the ones at this end of the room are basically my mates. It's these ones down here that are in direct combat with us that are the problem. Now, how did you get blinded, Karlach? Don't think it matters. We'll just bash that bugger. And then we'll all form a tight little circle here. Now, Lae'zel. Did good damage to that one. I actually got it, yes. And now she's blinded. So I guess they drop like a little cloud of darkness when they die, perhaps? That could explain it. Whole lot of missing going on. Didn't hit Karlach. We should give you a bit of that. They're not doing a whole lot of damage to flesh. It's got a lot of HP. Balthazar's not got so much, but still pretty strong. Those who got Cloud Kill. Very well. Oof. Divine Strike on a critical. Nice. We're definitely running out of enemies down this end of the room. It looks like we're just generally running out of enemies. So maybe we will get to speak to Balthazar after all. Karlach, finish that one off please, thank you. And then Balthazar takes a bit more damage. Resurrects someone by the look. Good, that's basically half part of this fight dealt with. Let's all just come down here a bit and chill. I think the fight is going to be won by Balthazar and friends. But we don't need to have any further part in it. Something I've always enjoyed in games is making two sets of enemies fight each other, where you just sit back and enjoy it, basically. Happened in Doom, I believe. There were some of the enemies in that would attack one another at times, but yeah, luring enemies back to like a town in Skyrim or something and watching all the guards go to town on them for you. Things of that nature. It always felt fun. I assume Balthazar's going to fully heal after this confrontation. Which is a shame. But will he get all his spell slots back? There we go. Victory is eventually ours. So yeah, NPCs generally heal themselves automatically outside of combat. Flesh is back to full health, so Balthazar will be as well. One must assume. No, we want to give that Cloud Kill a wide berth. It's not our friend. Balthazar's just generally a bit confused at this point. We're allowed to just waltz into his room and have a look around. We can even steal his money. Probably steal everything from in here. We could close that door behind us. And then let's have a poke. Broken Moon Lantern again. Dead pixies. Various alchemy ingredients and whatnot. Can't get up to that chest perhaps, but Lae'zel's got a good jump on her. Nothing spectacular, but we'll take it. And that seems to be it for items. There's an urn there. Nothing terribly exciting in it. Bone and skull. Okay. So this Gauntlet of Shah has been a very silly experience so far. We've had a big old stupid rumble, and before that we stumbled around like idiots in a room that wasn't dark enough. But next time we might actually do something slightly competent in here. It's hard to say. You'll have to find out when I do, which will be next time. So until then, thanks for watching, friends.